Once Pope Francis was asked a question: who is Yoge Mario Bergoglio? A softball question. He paused, reflected for a moment, and then said something that stunned many. I am a sinner. It is not a figure of speech. And then he clarified, I am a sinner the Lord has looked upon. The rest of that interview was a narration of his life. He spoke of being someone who has made mistakes, someone who has known failure, and someone deeply blessed by God. Let me take you back a bit. In 1975, the Jesuits held their 32nd General Congregation, and in that conclave, they asked themselves a very profound question: who is a Jesuit? And their collective response was this: a Jesuit is a sinner, yet called to be a companion of Jesus. That answer wasn't new. It echoed the personal experience of Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Society of Jesus. But Ignatius expressed it differently. He called himself a pilgrim. Pilgrims, as we know, are not perfect people. They are incomplete people. People who are constantly on a journey, always growing, always seeking God's will. I am a sinner. I am a pilgrim. Both are expressions of our human incompleteness, unworthiness. Whether it is a religious life, family life, professional life, all our journeys should begin with this deep awareness. Lord, I am incomplete, but I am seeking your perfection. If we start our journey with the attitude, I am complete, then there is really nothing to learn, nothing to seek, nothing to surrender. Pope Francis was a pilgrim in all sense, constantly inspired by the life of Francis of Assisi. Francis of Assisi was on his deathbed at the age of 44, almost blind by then, because of severe austere living. Francis sang loudly his canticle, Brother Sun, Sister Moon. He knew this time had come, and he asked his brothers, lay me on the earth. I came from earth, and let me go back to it. That was his intense desire to imitate the humility of Jesus to the very end. Then he did something very remarkable. He asked those around him to sing and dance. And finally, he requested his superior's permission to have his clothes removed, a final act of surrender and simplicity. Brother Elias, a prominent member of the Franciscan order, leaned in and said, Brother Francis, there are people standing in the street outside your window. Many had come to witness this holy death. Elias added, you should die with more Christian dignity. Saint Francis replied, excuse me, Brother Elias. I feel so much joy in my heart that I really can't help myself. I must sing. In fact, it is not that Francis is singing. Francis has become the song. When the last hour came, he expired lying naked on earth. I am wondering what a striking similarity with the last hours of Pope Francis. His last known words are, thank you for bringing me back to the square. That says it all, doesn't it? He was a man who always wanted to live in the square, not in the high mansions of the Vatican. He wanted to be with the people. He insisted on simplicity, refused the pomp and show of the papal office, and chose modesty over and over again. And now, even in death, he leaves us with one final instruction that his tomb should be in the ground, simple, with no particular ornamentation, bearing only the inscription Franciscus. The two Francises in different centuries, but walking a strikingly similar path. Both tried to repair the church. Both stood beneath the same cross, one naked in body, the other naked in spirit. Both rejected crowns, both kissed leopards, and both saw creation not as resource but as kin. Both were spontaneous, authentic, yet acutely aware that they were incomplete beings. Franciscus, rest in peace.